Hi, I'm Mal from the Money Study, bringing you another episode of our Take 10 Challenge. And we're up to number 24, all about super co-contributions. The government actually giving you some money for doing something sensible. Lovely. Before we kick it off, there's our disclaimer, all about facts, all about figures. It's information, it is not advice. So the super co-contribution's been around for quite some time. It's not as good as it used to be. As usual, the government sort of watered this thing down over time. But the idea of the super co-contribution was to encourage people on low incomes to contribute money to a super fund, and if they did, the government would give them a bit of handout and put some extra money into their super fund for them. They would give them some money. Now, if you put the money in, the money would be locked up until your preservation age, and literally any money that's matched by this government and they give you this handout, it is also stuck in super. So it's not like you can put money into super and then the government gives you a handout that you can go down to the shop and spend. No, it will go into your super and effectively just helping you to build your wealth. Now, there's obviously a cap on this, a restriction. If you make too much money, nice problem, then obviously think about your children. If it's a situation that you've got some young kids just starting out at work, it certainly could be a nice way to sort of get them interested in super. You might say, okay, I'll give you some money. The government will give you some money just to help you build your superannuation. And so just to be, sort of something to talk about. The kids will, might be able to see the benefit. They probably won't really see the benefit till they're retiring at 60 with all that extra money, and then they might be say, "Gee, Dad was a great bloke." You may not be alive to hear it, but hopefully they'll understand the benefit of getting that money in earlier rather than later. You might have a partner who's part-time, earning less amounts of money, or indeed you just both might be lower income earners. So the idea is here that if your income is less than 58,445 a year, that's your gross income, then effectively that's before you do any sort of salary sacrifice or anything like that, that's your gross income. If you earn less than that, you are indeed eligible for at least something. But to get the full benefit, you must be earning less than $43,445. So if you make less than $43,445, you get the full benefit. Now, the maximum amount that you can get the benefit from is $1,000. So you put $1,000 into your super fund and you earn less than 43,000, the government will give you $500. If you're getting up towards, once you're over 58, you'll get nothing. But if you're earning just under that 58.4, you'll get something. It's a sliding scale, depending on your income between 43,000 and 58. So the idea is here that you can jump onto the ATO website under their super tab. There is indeed a co-contribution calculator, and therefore you can actually punch into that thing what you believe your salary is going to be. It will tell you what they will match, in which case if you want to maximize it, you just put in double. They're putting in 50% of your contribution. So if they say they're going to match 250, you only need $500 to get that 250. You don't need to put $1,000 in to get the 250. We just need basically them to match your contribution depending on what your limit indeed is. So yeah, it may not be a huge benefit, but I tell you what, if it's a case of someone giving me 50% return on my money and I'm eligible, then I'd certainly do my darnest to ensure that I could indeed get it. There's no paperwork for this. There's no paperwork required. It just literally means that the person who is doing this needs to be doing a income tax return. So they've got to be permanent resident. There's a few other criteria, but have a look on the ATO website for all the criteria. But basically, as long as you're an Australian resident doing a tax return and you earn less than the caps there, you will indeed get the benefit. You don't have to fill out paperwork to apply for it. They literally just wait till you do your tax return, and then they wait till all the super funds do their tax return. They match up who made contributions, and therefore they can see that, this person here has contributed to their super fund, and therefore, and they just earned less than 43,000. We owe them whatever it may be, depending on their contribution. Now, you can't do a salary sacrifice. We're going to talk about salary sacrifice later on. Can't get a tax deduction for putting the money into super and then get the co-contribution. Can't have it both ways. You're either going to chase the tax deduction or you're going to chase this co-contribution. So it depends on your income which way is the best to put the first $1,000 into your super fund. And this will become a little bit clearer when we start talking about concessional contributions and salary sacrifice and so forth in upcoming episodes over the next next week or two. Anyway, bit of information there. If you want any more, go to the ATO website, and they'll certainly give you all the ins and outs of how the co-contribution works. It used to be you used to put in $1,000 and they gave you $1,500. Now that was nice. Then they dropped it down to putting in 1,000 and get 1,000. Now you put in 1,000, you get 500. As I say, not as good as it used to be, but still a 50% return on my money. Happy to help you out with anything in regards to that. We'll talk again on future sessions.